So when you get shouted at, everybody feels bad. बहुत गुस्सा आता है. Whatever strategy you apply when you are being shouted at, I suggest continue doing the same thing. But make sure you're true to your personality. Don't do anything which you don't feel like doing, but you do it thinking that it may benefit you. So understand your personality. If somebody is shouting at you and you feel like shouting back, please go ahead. But in case you fall into the category where you are being shouted at और आप withdraw कर जाते हो, आप अपने आप को isolate कर लेते हो, you keep sulking for hours and days together, and you find it very uncomfortable how exactly to respond back. And when you're sulking, you're thinking about it, कि I wish I could shout back, I could say something about it, etc., etc. So how to tackle this? If you really want to know about this, stay close. Now the first thing, whenever you get shouted at, if it is a regular thing or it is happening, the frequency is much more, and you feel there is no solution to it because your relationship with that person is such that you cannot shout back, you really cannot do anything about it. Maybe they are elders, maybe your mom-in-law, maybe your own mother, or maybe somebody, or maybe your seniors, something of that sort. So what I suggest is, whenever you are being shouted at, do not pay attention to the words being spoken. Because if you pay attention to the words being spoken, आपकी हालत खराब हो जाएगी. बिकॉज अकेले बैठ करके आप उसको पूरा डाइसेक्ट करोगे, मुझे ऐसा क्यों बोला, इसका मतलब क्या था, मैंने तो ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं था, एट्सेट्रा एट्सेट्रा. बेस्ट इज द मोमेंट यू फील दैट यू आर बीइंग शाउटेड एट और यू आर अबाउट टू गेट शाउटेड एट, स्टार्ट थिंकिंग अबाउट दैट पर्सन. मे बी सम वेरी सीनियर person is shouting at you. Hypothetically, let's say she is a lady. So you start thinking, maybe she's not very well educated, or maybe she doesn't look good, or maybe she has a bad relationship, maybe her own children are not doing well, maybe she doesn't click with her husband, maybe she has some medical issues, diabetes or hypertension or arthritis, some kind of a problem going on in her life. So what I'm asking you, whenever you're getting shouted at, instead of paying attention to what is being spoken, create a wave of pity for that person. The moment you create a wave of pity for that person, thinking that this might be wrong with the person, then whatever the person is trying to give it to you, the negative, his or her anger, will affect you minimal. Because if you're not creating this pity wave for that person, it'll become very difficult for you to handle. So next time when you're being shouted at, just try this and see the result. This is what I'll be talking to you in the times to come on Business of Life. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Stay loved.